what kind of energies are sticking to us. There are energies of ghosts and asuras and daityas. Of course, there is negative energy of a lot of people,
Can
and
you hear me?
Yeah, we can.
sometimes people can, sometimes one tendency I have seen in a lot of spiritual people, they start to avoid the negativity. They want to avoid the negative people, negative situations. But if you start to do that, you cannot live your life because negative people are everywhere. So you got to have the mastery of transformation of that negative energy. And how that begins is from you. Start to transform your own negative energy. And when you get into the quantum observation of those negative vibrations of yourself, lots of us in quantum life have worked on the vibrations of others, the negative people around us, and they start to show the transformation. So now
So this
one thing I have realized that depression is a very difficult,
can you put
it is
yourself?
in the state of depression. It is in the state of depression. These parasites start to encroach us because we have this aura around us, right? When you are happy and fulfilled, there is an aura around you. But when you are depressed, what happens is that aura will shrink
Yeah.
inside, and that gives them space to enter in your body. If you are happy, those parasites can enter you. But some people think that I can just be happy. No, it's not possible, because if there are those, the volcanoes of subconscious, they are erupting, you can never be happy. So the solution is not to try to avoid negativity, but to be the master of transformation. Let there be negativity. If there is a depression, be in quantum observation of that. Depression will suddenly evaporate.
So, in
Right?
a way, what I hear from you, Shivo, is, the more we become aware and the more we experience causes disappearance. This is something that you're trying to
Right.
say?
Aware, I am just saying what you are saying is correct, the awareness, but I am going one step ahead. Aware of what? A lot of people say be aware of your emotions.
Right.
But I want to go one step deeper than that. I am saying be aware of your vibrations. If you have jealousy, the first step is to be aware that I have jealousy inside me, number one. But you have to now go one step ahead of that. See, if you have jealousy as emotion, what it will help you is that you will not act under it, under jealousy. So you will not create future problems, but that will not dissolve jealousy. How the jealousy will dissolve is when you actually inside you discover where is the jealousy hidden,
Ah,
discover those vibrations inside your body. When those vibrations dissolve, suddenly you will realize your jealousy is gone. It's very simple. It's
beautiful.
very simple
So
to
what you
dissolve your subconscious. Yes.
So what I say, what I hear next is the moment you become aware. Second is you become just like be with it, allow it, experience it, and then you really see in your physical body where is those vibrations, where are you really feeling that pain. Like sometimes when you're feeling the pain, there's a lump in the throat that you
Right.
experience, or that it could be anywhere in the forehead. There's a throbbing. So those are the kind of vibrations you're talking about.
Right. So you experience the vibration, but there is one more tip I would like to give, which is very essential. When you feel those vibrations, after that, go into deep shavasana. If
Oh,
you will
wow.
not go into deep shavasana, those will not dissolve. Only
Oh,
in shavasana, only in that relaxation, those vibrations will begin to dissolve. You will actually experience it.
wow.
That
Thank
is
you so much.
really the union of Shiva and Shakti within us.
Mm.
Those subconscious energies are Shakti, and where they dissolve into in relaxation, that is Shiva.
So
So
then,
a lot of people
first is
say,
awareness, second is experience, third is experiencing the whole vibration inside your body, and then be with it in Shavasana. Just surrender.
right.
Shavasana. That's it.
I just would like to say just one more sentence. A lot of people say that spirituality is about knowing Shiva. Some people say, the people who believe in visualization, affirmations, etc., they will say, no, the Shakti, the energy is a reality. I would say what is spirituality is energy merging into consciousness. Shakti merging into Shiva is the real spirituality.
Awesome. So let's hear
Either
from
Shiva or Shakti is half the experience, is a partial experience of spirit. Shakti
Nupurji?
merging into Shiva.
Nupur, yeah, so let's hear from. Thank you, Shivo. Thank you really for that powerful insight. Thank you. Nupurji, would you like to share
Yes.
something about like how we can use Reiki, like, to channelize all these energies within us, or like how can Reiki be used for transformation? Listening so basically when we pray, we are praying for our wishes to be fulfilled, right? So one is wish fulfillment,
Yes.
and
Yes.
second is your evolution. So how do we do that? Through
Yes.
Reiki.
Okay. Reiki is very basic energy. Okay. And as you proceed higher and higher, like you say, Shivu said, that he is using prayers and various meditation techniques. But what in Reiki we are doing, we are directly connecting to the divine energy. We can proceed higher and higher with the connect with the divine energy without even using any mantras or anything. With the vibration itself, we can, transmit energy to any level and anywhere. So it is very higher frequency level where we can transmit energy without even thinking of anything. Just thought itself will transmit the energy. This is how we can transform different kind of energies to different levels, to any kind of situation, any kind of medical situation, any kind of mental situation, as well as electronic things, plus animals, all the living beings, even including plants and everything. Even other people have discussed about the money things, that also can be manifested with the help of just vibrations.
Yes.
Only vibration, only channeling through this divine energy. I told you only the basic thing. But as you proceed, as you raise your vibration through various means, you are coming to the same one point. Okay, that one point is ultimate, right? You are crossing, you are doing anything like mantras, like meditation, like any other means of reaching to the ultimate. The shortest, the strongest, the powerful is this basic thing, vibration. Om is a vibration. So this is how we can raise our vibration and change and bring any kind of different kind of changes in oneself and others and in the environment and in any situation, even world pandemic also. I've dealt with so many people suffering from virus. They have come back. They have come back with this vibration. They didn't knew that I'm channeling Reiki,
Hmm.
but they came back. How? Because we are channeling the energy raw in raw form from the divine to the person. We are
Wow.
activating those levels.
So one question I want to ask.
So, Ruchi, we won't have much time.
Oh,
We've already all shut, and
okay.
I think
So
we'll have
thank
only
you so
10 minutes
much.
for next speaker.
Thank
Yeah,
you
well,
so much for these powerful insights. Thank you, Shivo. Thank you, Nupurji. It was a pleasure connecting with you. And as these discussions can just go on endlessly,
yes,
yes,
of
thank you for
course.
being with us.
I couldn't speak much because of technical glitches, but yeah, tomorrow
No
definitely
worries.
I'll be speaking.
Yeah.
And thank you so much for giving
Thank
me
you
some
so much,
time.
Thank you
Shivu.
so much.
Thank you,
Thank
Nupurji.
you,
Thank
Ritu.
you,
Thank
Ruchi.
you, everyone. Thank you, Chi.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Okay.
My dear friends, up next we have with us Miss Shubhra Garg, and she's from the Parivartan Core Team USA, and she is going to speak about empowering against abuse. So, Shubhra, are you there? Kindly unmute yourself, please.
Yeah, hi. Sorry, I wasn't able to unmute myself
It's okay.
previously. Hi.
Thank
So
you.
good.
Welcome, welcome. I'm so sorry we've overshot. I think we are
No
left with.
worries.
Let's
Yeah, no
start.
worries at all. Yeah. So good to see everybody, and thank you for like giving me this opportunity. So after that really nice spiritual discussion, I'm going to talk about something that's like very tangible, very real and raw. That problem that plagues our society, which is rape and sexual violence. But um, instead of talking about like the ill itself, right? I'm going to speak about a program that we conceptualize, right, to prevent those kind of instances in our society. So just for some background to begin with, this was around, I think, January 2020, and it was around the time that the Priyanka Reddy brutal rape and murder in Hyderabad had happened. And I and a few other members from like an online community of IAM women got together, and we were really disturbed by this, and we said, instead of this time just feeling angry, helpless, we want to see what we could do to prevent these kind of instances from happening in the first place. So therein began a journey of like a ton of research, talking to experts, talking to different NGOs that were doing work in this space. And the result of this is this program, Parivartan, that we conceptualized. And we have partnered with a few NGOs to make this a reality. And I just want to talk about that for a bit. I have a slide deck here that I want to share. Uh, all right.
You're able to share it, right?
Yeah, I'm just kind of bringing this up. I thought that I had it ready to share. Mm. All right, yeah. Can you all see my screen?
Yes, absolutely.
Great. Okay, so, I think we've structured this into different areas, but just want to describe who we are, what problem are we tackling, what solution we came up with it initially. So just delving right in. Okay, so we are, Parivartan is a rape prevention program. And, after talking to various experts, right, we saw that there were a lot of people working in the area of intervention after the fact and rehabilitation of survivors, right? But, not too many people focusing on preventing the problem to begin with. And after talking with experts, right, we realized that the best way to prevent instances like this in the first place was to shape young mindsets from very early ages in healthy gender norms. And we came up with this plan where we basically took a gender sensitization curriculum. We're actually talking to multiple providers, but we have noted Seeds of Awareness and CLL TIS. They have a program. And the idea is that we have also enlisted some experienced NGOs as implementers of the program. So the way we envision this to run is that these NGOs have allocated facilitators, right, to work on this. And the curriculum providers, and the trainers are going to train facilitators from these NGOs. And then the trained facilitators will then go to schools. They already have connections into schools, and they will basically work with kids, right, and hold multiple very experiential, very hands-on sessions to help shape young mindsets. So I'm going to skip over this really quickly, but our core team is like of 6 people. 4 of us are from IM. So like I said, we connected through an online women's community. And 2 of us, we also got 2 people involved. There are, working in this field already. Actually, they were working as child activists. So they have a ton of experience working with like kids in schools. So they joined our cause. And, the 6 of us kind of formed a core team to work on this. And we kind of right now in our pilot phase, we are partnering with 3 NGOs. However, we have spoken to many more as we grow beyond the pilot and we scale this program up. There are other NGOs we have spoken to who have shown a lot of interest in being part of our program. In the first phase, right, we have basically we have agreements with these 3 NGOs. Center for Health and Social Justice, that's headquartered in Delhi. PVCHR, which is primarily based in Varanasi and surrounding areas. And Vasavya Mahila Mandli, which is based in Andhra Pradesh. Now, I want to mention that for the pilot phase, we actually wanted to get a good geographical spread because there are, slight differences in cultural norms, right, in north, south, east, and west of India. And we wanted like a good enough spread to see how this program resonates in the different areas of India. All right, so just some background behind why we kind of chose the path we did, right, to prevent and or try to reduce and eliminate this issue, right? We notice that kind of punishment after the fact, or making more stricter laws, public shaming, ostracization, protests, kind of punishment, like even harsh punishments like kind of hanging, right? uh, hasn't fully worked to solve this, what we call a pandemic, rather, or an epidemic, right? Swift justice, and sometimes we've seen that justice can take a long time, right? It's important as a deterrent, but it's only a partial solution. And so, I think while we are starting with the kids, we kind of also explored the mindsets that exist in adults, right? And eventually, I think we also have plans to kind of, actually impart the same kind of, information and mindset sharing with adults. But the focus of our program is not intervention and rehabilitation after it happens, but empowering kids from very early ages to deal with this issue to begin with, and develop healthy mindsets, right? And our focus is not on punishment, but it's on prevention in the first place. Okay, so I think, as I'd mentioned before, the curriculums that we have looked at are pretty comprehensive. They cover a lot of things. I've just kind of mentioned a few highlights of things they cover. But it includes things like healthy gender norms, in making informed choices, respecting each other. So I feel very strongly about this term respect, right? Because we feel like when cases like this happen, a lot of it stems from the lack of respect, right, that one gender may feel towards another. And so how do we build that sense of respect? And how do we encourage kids from very early ages to, like, deal with each other respectfully, and make informed choices, right? That's part of the curriculum. But I could share like the details of the curriculum, but it's very comprehensive and covers several of these things, right? So I think I've repeated this a few times, but our goal, eventually, our mission is to create the next gen of empowered citizens, right? So kids who will grow up with these healthy mindsets and grow up to be adults that reject violence, that are respectful to all genders, and that can lead to a more equitable and healthier society eventually. Uh, I think I've spoken through most of this, so I'm not going to go through each and every kind of aspect here. But the one thing I want to cover is the curriculums that we are looking at are very hands-on, right? They will involve like role play, group discussions. They're highly interactive, right? Things that can really embed themselves in the mind of young adolescents, right? So that's the kind of curriculum that we have chosen. And again, I'm repeating some of the topics that it covers, right? Respect for self and others, violence and abuse, what constitutes healthy and unhealthy relationships. What does the concept of consent really mean, right? The notion of gender and power that comes with it, right? And the deep-seated cultural kind of traditions that reside as far as gender and power goes, stereotyping, etc. So, what does our like program with kids comprise of? So currently, we are envisioning like 15 sessions, probably not probably spread out over 15 weeks, right? Like one per week of 90-minute each, with yearly refreshers with kids in the schools that our facilitators will be working in. We feel like this is a model that can be replicated countrywide. So our plan is that, once we conduct the pilot, we will evaluate the results. We will, we will monitor how the program went, and then expand, right, at our scale by various mechanisms. We're also talking to other curriculum providers in other geographies. We are talking to other NGOs. Eventually, and I come to this in a slide later on, we would really want to, like, I think we eventually, if we want to go through a national scale, we would want governments, right, state governments, to be incorporating like programs like this, gender sensitization programs, in their regular school curriculums. And that's how we can feel in the very long term we can scale eventually. Yeah. So here, I think the one thing I want to say is like in terms of the pilot, the areas we are covering in our pilot are Rajasthan, Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, West Bengal, and Andhra Pradesh. And the NGOs we have enlisted basically already have presence and have connections into schools or are working in different kinds of school programs in these areas already. So I think in the first phase, we are kind of training 25 facilitators, and just based on some calculations we have done, plus past experience, we expect them to be over a course of 1 year training 4,000 to 5,000 kids during our pilot program, and then expand further. Just some timelines involved here. Won't go into everything. Any questions so far? I'll just pause for a moment and see if anybody has any questions.
Yes, so I have a question. Ruchi has a question, but I'm worried again of the time frame. So,
Okay.
we would definitely love to connect. I would request you to leave your email ID and the contact number.
Sure.
And one question quickly I would put up is like, if you're doing this with children, there are a lot of things that, as a teen coach, I deal with a lot of kids. So I would definitely personally like to connect with you. And there are a lot of issues that I'm really proud of you. And
Thank
I
you.
feel blessed that, children will have these kind of orientation at the very outset. So I'm really happy. Yes,
Thank you.
Ruchi, you have a question. Quickly take it up. Okay.
You're on mute, I think.
Yeah. So, Shubhra, really great initiative. How can we contribute and what can we do, like,
Sure,
getting
yeah.
aware?
So I have one slide on that. So currently, to basically fund our pilot phase and also prepare ourselves for beyond, we are we're crowdfunding right now. So actually, we are kind of funding ourselves in various ways. So if any of you are interested and can spread the word for us, it would be wonderful if you could share our fundraiser. I can send the link to Ruchi and. So
Please share it on the chat box. We would take
okay,
it up
sure.
at our levels wherever we
I would
can.
like to contribute. So, please do share.
Yeah.
Sure. And here's our email ID. I will throw both these links into our chat box, right? And yeah, feel free to connect. And if you could share the fundraiser, contribute yourself, that will be wonderful.
We would.
So, in a nutshell, that's our program, and we really hope to take this to a national level eventually, and see this real what we see as a scourge come down in our society, right? So yeah,
Awesome
Brilliant.
initiative,
Thank you.
Shubhra. It's like a blessing. Each thing that you're sharing, it feels like there's something deep embedded in our society, and you've taken it up as a cause, and that really feels like the world is changing and the golden age is there. Like we are actually creating it together in terms of consciousness. Really, really blessed. Thank you
thank
for
you so much.
sharing.
Yeah,
Thank you so much, Shubhra. Kindly
thank
put
you.
up the details.
Sure.
So, thank you so much. Thank you so much. So, up next, we have with us the very beautiful and gorgeous Mansi Bhagdev, and she's the co founder of Quanto Life. And she's going to talk to us about how role models shape your life. Thank you. Thank you for coming, Mansi. Thank you for taking out time. And it's always a pleasure to see you, to hear you. So, all yours.
Thank you so much, Ritu, and really a warm welcome and a huge hug of gratitude to everyone who's here, all 47 of them. Thank you so much. Today, I'm going to talk about how role models shape your life. And today, in the Mavin Festival, we've come across so many role models in every dimension of life. And I'm going to walk you through a practical demo on how they can shape our life. So I invite you on the journey. So first, I would like to thank our previous speaker, Shubhra Garg, who's really so empowering and just working on really the important stuff of childhood abuse. So thank
Thank
you
you.
so much. So when we get started, I would love to hear from everyone on who's their role model and what you really appreciate about them. And I ask that because today we are in this very vibrating field of Mavin. We've invoked the quantum vibrational field. And I feel if you write that name today, you will connect with them vibrationally. So if I could invite everyone to get your typing fingers on and share who's your role model. It could be any. In fact, I say pick one for every dimension of life you are interested in expanding. So I invite you all to share a role model of yours and what you appreciate about them. So Shiva says Pythagoras, who founded Freemasons. Please, take a moment. It doesn't have to be this one perfect role model. Atin shares, thank you, Atin. He says Shiva, Vittoria Krishnamurti. Rupali says Quanto Shiva. Mukul says Shivaji Maharaj. So yeah, oh, Prachuti, love you, Prachuti. Saint Tukaram. So I invite you to keep thinking about your role model as we go about this, because this is a very practical session. So who's a role model? A role model is someone that you could probably be fascinated with. It could be somebody you're inspired by. But then we move from this inspirational into a vibrational integration with them. Now, Shivu just a few minutes ago talked about how do we vibrationally integrate with the devas? How do we vibrationally integrate with the gods? But what I want to talk about is how do we vibrationally integrate with the role models? Because there are some similarities, but there are also some differences. Okay, so so what we are going to do is one of the don'ts about the role model is that do not try to copy them. Because let's say if your role model is Shivaji Maharaj, only Shivaji Maharaj can be the best Shivaji Maharaj. You cannot be the best Shivaji Maharaj. You can maybe be the best Mukul. There are many programs out there that teach you to program your mind. They teach you to program and replicate and copy skills. And what I have found is that in replication, there is you don't have any new creation. There is no originality. What happens is we are all born with our own unique potential, and when that unique potential meets with the vibration of your role model, then these two come together and there is a new creation that happens. And this creation extremely powerful. So really move from that inspiration to integration, move from the replicating to a new creation. Okay, so I want to share about my role model. One of my role models was Oprah. And for me, watching her on Super Soul Sunday was really my temple, my pilgrimage. And I would watch in awe as she would connect very intimately, heart to heart, with really soulful, successful people in all walks of life. And she would share, they would go through their entire journey, the traumas, their gifts, their work, their talents, how they have expanded, what life means to them. And I would very often be in tears. I would be inspired. I would just live it with them as if I was with her. And every week I would have a new role model. And my love for Oprah would keep going deeper. And very recently, what happened, a few months ago, I was approached by the president of the World Parliament of Spirituality. And he asked me if I would like to moderate, interview, and host at the World Parliament of Spirituality. And this was a dream that I had not even known to dream. I was not even in this space. This is not at all what I was doing. And it was just so amazing that this Super Soul Sunday had actually been my prep work leading me. This vibrational field of Super Soul Sunday had created this for me. And it was just a most amazing time meeting spiritual leaders from all over the world. I especially dealt with Australia and North America, and I really got to spend so much one-on-one time with them. And it was like really, the blessings of not just the devas, but Oprah. and everyone whom I had grown up with during those Sundays. So this really works, and I continue to do that work. I continue to work with people like Dr. Shabana and the Mavin, and we have not just engaged, but we have come into collaborations. Many musicians here like Sugato ji and Pandit Abhay, Supuri ji, whom we are going to hear in a minute. Having those really intimate interviews first with them, then the panel discussions, and I continue to live that life, which I didn't even, this was not the secret. I didn't really ask for it, but I was vibrating in that, and it just happened. So I would like to give 3 sutras on how I feel this could work for you too. One is, because you're choosing a role model who's a human and not a deva, that person has a subconscious. Okay, so we're going to start by observing and dissolving our subconscious. Subconscious is all our traumas, all our conditionings, our patterns, and sometimes you're attracted to a role model because you might have gone through a trauma. A person with sexual abuse might get drawn to someone who has had sexual abuse in their life and has gone beyond that. So observe that subconscious. You want to imbibe from them, but you want to absorb. You want to observe that subconscious so that it starts dissolving. And then the next step is expand your field of conscious. And that is say yes to everything about them. Be in their physical presence, if you get a chance, meet them, because meeting them, they will grow in your aura. You will really connect with them vibrationally. Invest your time, invest your money, invest your talents in what they do. If they have a program, volunteer, attend their workshops, be in this space, spread the word about them. Whether they are asking you to promote them, whether they are paying you for them, doesn't matter. It is your offering of gratitude. So do your part for them. And finally, connect at a super conscious level, which is your highest potential meets their highest potential. And depending on how much time we have, I would like to lead you all into that. So Ritu, how much time do we have?
We have about 12 minutes.
Okay, so so this really gives us a chance for a very deep experience. So what I invite you all to do is just sit comfortably. If you can, please turn your camera on. It is just wonderful to connect to you all vibrationally like this. So if you can, turn your cameras on. Thank you. Sit comfortably, close your eyes, and just be in complete receptivity. Keep your palms open. If possible, clear some space around you. So, you can go into relaxation, okay? And you can just lie down if you can. If not, we'll just relax. Close your eyes, straighten your spine. With every breath, feel your heart open. Feel your body, the top of your head, your face, your smile, your neck. Let awareness flow down to your shoulders, arms, whole upper body, your back, your heart. Just this incredible love machine. Your lungs, your stomach, your genitals, your legs, all the way to the soles of your feet. And repeat after me. Quanto, quanto, quanto. Feel the vibrational field of quanto. You may feel it all around you, inside you, on your palms. Just be in observation. If you don't feel it, that's okay too. It is still there. Just observe. And now, invite your role model. say his or her name. There is a lot of power in saying the name. The sound carries its own vibration and frequency. So take a deep breath and invite them. As you take their name, feel them entering your aura. Feel the space beyond your body and feel them entering there. And now that they are here, have a heart to heart with them. What do you most appreciate about them? Share your gratitude. In appreciation, our heads are bowed and our heart is open, and we are the most receptive. And now I invite you to see what you have in common with them. Because only if you have that receptor in you, you are able to appreciate someone. So what do you have in common with them? Share with them. Share with them what you think are your gifts. And now I invite you to go into any incident in your life, any trauma into your life, any place you feel stuck. What is that incident? Go into that incident. Who are the people there? What is being said? What do you feel? And feel that in your body. Where do you feel that incident in your body? Is it in your heart? In your head? Is it in your whole body? Is it in your aura? And how does it feel? Does it feel like a stab in your heart? Or is it painful? Do you feel heat? Do you see any colors or smell anything? Whatever it is, just observe. As you observe, it might get more and more intense. Now we offer every vibration in our body to our role model and to the quantum vibrational field. We seek their blessings and we just go into deep relaxation. Take this moment to just deeply relax. If you can, just lie down for a minute and I'll bring you back. Now, if you feel ready, raise your hands to the skies and just feel the vibrations showering on you. You may feel them raining on your hands, on the crown of your head. Just drench in the shower. Rub your palms together and massage these beautiful vibrations on your face and all over your body. And slowly open your eyes. Namaste.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Let me know how you felt or if you have any questions or suggestions. Thank you. Love you.
Need more time with you. That's the only suggestion.
Thank you all so much.
So beautiful. So beautiful. Feel a lot of flow of energy.
You felt a what? What did you say, Ritu?
Felt a lot of flow of energy.
Oh, thank
Very
you.
different here in this area. And obviously, a lot of other things happening to the body.
Thank you, thank you. Rena asked me, what does quantum mean? Do we have time or should I put it in the chat?
If you could put it in the chat, that would help
I
because
will, I
we
will.
have Abhayji also. So,
Yes.
yeah. Before that, we have one more session. So, I'll quickly go into it. Thank you so much, Mansiji. It's always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. And Liz, thank you so much for sharing your space.
Love you.
Love you. Welcome, 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 Saket. How do I pronounce your name? You'll have to educate me on that. I'm so sorry, I'm not able to hear you.
Sanket.
Sanket.
Yeah.
Sanket Jayant. Thank you for being here. And It's like we've overshot for 3-4 minutes, so I think we can manage.
Yeah.
So, magic of numbers is what you're going to talk on, and Sanket is a spiritual catalyst. So that's very interesting, Sanket. Really looking forward to. Okay, all yours. Yeah, please go
Thank
ahead.
you. Thank you, Ritu, and thank you, Mansi ji, for a beautiful session. It was amazing experiencing at least the last meditation, which I was privileged to join. So thank you so much. And welcome everybody to the magic of numbers. I'm Sanket Jain Popat, residing in Mumbai and been a practicing numerologist since last 5 years, and I've touched more than 5,000 lives and had beautiful transformations happening through them. And I've seen numbers creating magic in my life and in so many lives. So today I'm here to share that magic with you. So it's very simple. I'm just getting, today I'm going to share with you the basics of what numerology is, or what Pythagorean numerology is, which is one of the oldest numerology being practiced in the world, conceived by the great mathematician Pythagoras. So let's not waste time because we have already crossed 3 minutes. I want to give you the most possible. So I'm starting my screen sharing. Yeah. Just a second. Mm-mm. Slideshow is not starting. Here it is. Yes. So Magic of Numbers by me, Sanket Jain Popat. Um, Let me tell you how it all started. So it's from I would request if anybody wants to, because there's a lot of text on this screen, if you want to just take pictures of it or take screenshots, it would be great. It is a lot of text, so it will be very difficult for you all to write it down, and I am going to go a little fast so that I can cover more. So Pythagoras was born in Samos, and it was in 6th century BC where he conceived numerology. And we don't know much about his early years of life, but then yes, and he has got us mathematics, astronomy, and music. As a teacher, he was very respected, and he was a very disciplined and a strict teacher. So and his students would score to his secrecy. He had a lot of secrets in his life. He had a lot of what do you say, his inventions and his research is something which a layman cannot do. He was blessed, and he was definitely a master. So and we all know, we have all learned the theorem of Pythagoras, which we all used to dread with our maths. So Pythagoras numerology is the Western form of numerology. We have so many types of numerology: Chaldean numerology, Vedic numerology, Chinese numerology, Japanese numerology, Greek numerology. So everything is there, but this is one of the most ancient Western numerology. In the Pythagorean numerology, it is study of numbers, and it is all in Pythagorean numerology. We all the numbers come down to a single digit. So a 10, a 19, a 28, all are one. All are ones. Okay. So we have numbers from 1 to 9, and we have something called as master numbers, which is 11, 22, 33, 44. They are all called as master numbers. I'll come to that in detail. If you feel that I'm going a little fast, put it in the chat so I will slow down or something. But I want to cover a lot of stuff, so I'm going. Why do we use numerology? The numerology has a lot of uses. We can rectify our planetary defects. If we have seen in an astrology chart that you have a planetary defect, any of your planets are not in sync with your life, or even in a numerology chart, when we make a detailed numerology chart, we come to know there are certain planetary defects. So we can rectify those. Analysis, short-term analysis. How is my this year going to be? How is my this coming 4-5 years going to be? We can all come to know through numerology. We can identify our weak zones and make them our strong zones. So we can understand where we are weak at. What is our lacking, and we can work on it. Works on our karma. There is something called as karmic debt numbers also, which we'll see in the coming slides. And we can rectify those also, at least, or we can understand what our karmas we have carried from our past lives, and we can try to work on them and be a better human being and reach our life purpose in a better way. Health and happiness, which is all we everybody require, health and happiness. And especially during this pandemic, health, we have understood how important it is. We had been neglecting, but everybody of us were trying our level best to have our immunity best. So health and happiness comes also there. Buying and selling. So is it the right time to buy something, is it the right time to sell something, can be found out through numerology. Occupations, yes, it's a beautiful tool even for as a vocational guidance, or like an aptitude test. We can find out the aptitude of kids, what occupation should they take, what is the aptitude we can pursue. Even if we feel that we are stuck in a job or a vocation which we are not very happy with, we can take a numerology analysis done, and we can find out what we are good at. I'll tell you my example. I was into a family business of logistics, which I was never happy with. But when I understood, no, my calling is something different. I'm more into spirituality. I'm more into helping others. I am more into transforming lives. That's why I chose this profession of numerology. I'm a tarot card reader. I'm a past life regression therapist, and a lot of many things which you can see on my website. So this is how I realized that, okay, this is where, I was in a very beautiful office. It was a lovely infrastructure, a lot of people working under me. Money was good. Everything was nice, but I was not happy. And when I started this as my profession, I'm having that same money, same respect, and lot of happiness. So this really works. So if you feel you are stuck in your job and it's not giving you happiness, come to me, I'll help you out. Most important and worst everybody wants is predictions. So how is your future going to be? Compatibility and relationship analysis. We understand, whether two people are compatible, whether they are life partners, business partners, neighbors, whatever. We can understand why we are very happy with somebody and why we are not so happy with somebody. It gets a lot of awareness and a lot of acceptance after knowing this. And yes, the most important of all, better understanding of the self. So this is other some whys we need to understand why we learn or take a numerology guidance. Now let's come to the numbers. What these numbers mean. As I told you, Pythagorean numerology is from number 1 to 9 and the master numbers. So some numbers like the number 1. Every number is ruled by a planet, which is ruled by the sun. They're individualistic, independence, they have attainment. They have very beautiful, some lucky colors or harmonious colors of gold, yellow, orange, and purple. Some of the positive, and all the numbers have positive traits and some negative traits. So some of the positive traits would be an initiation of action, a pioneering spirit, inventive ideas, strong leadership skills, independent, drives to attain, individualistic style, executive abilities, and so on and so forth. Negative traits would be overly assertive, aggressive, dominating, egoistic, willfulness. So it's like, the ones are the one, it's like the sun shining. So if the shine, it is very radiant, but it is very hot too. So it has the positive and the negative. Then we have the 2, very beautiful, the ruled by the moon. So its relations, cooperations, harmonious colors are white, gray, cream, purple, blue. So the positive traits are cooperation, adaptability, considerate of others, sensitive to the needs of others, partnering, arbiter, mediator. They are the best mediators possible. The more they're sincere, they're spiritually influenced, and they can be lovely diplomats too. And some negative traits are they're overly emotional, they're shy, they're timid, they're fearful, they're self-conscious. They drown into detailing of things, and they can be drawn to depression also because they are overly emotional people. They lack logic or they lack practicality. Yeah. So if your birth date is any numbers with these, you can relate to it. A number 3, 3 is ruled by Jupiter. That is one of the most radiant planets, a planet of guru, if you have heard this. It is expression, joy. They live in the moment. They are the most joyful people. They're always happy and happy-go-lucky. The harmonious colors are yellow shades, violet, purple, and green. Positive traits are they're very expressive, they're verbal, they inspire and keep imagining. They have the artistic gifts, they're accurate impressions and insights. They are very, very optimistic. They're happy and fun loving and enjoys life fully. Some negative traits could be scattered energies, exaggeration, unfinished projects, lack of direction. There could be moodiness and self-centeredness. And here comes the number 4. 4 is like my way or the highway. So they're ruled by Rahu. They have limitation. They are ordered. They are in service. Harmonious colors are electric blue, electric gray, white, and maroon. Positive traits would be strong sense of order and value. They are disciplinarians. They struggle against limits. They are really motivated. Steady growth, highly practical, scientific mind, attention to detailing, foundation for achievement, genius of organization and fine management skills. And the negative traits could be lack of imagination because they're very rigid. They're very logical and practical people, so they lack of imagination. They're caught up in detailing, stubborn fixed options, argumentative, slow to act. They're too serious sometimes and confused also. Number 5, again a happy-go-lucky number, ruled by Mercury, the most active planet, which is always moving. It is the fastest moving planet. Harmonious colors are white and green, avoid red. 5 positive traits are expansiveness. They grow well, they really grow well. New and visionary ideas, quick thinking, versatile and ever changing. They are the most versatile people. Action oriented, curious and exploring. They're always growing, promoting. And some negative traits could be they are very restless. They cannot sit at one place. The 5s are restless people. Discontent, edgy, temperament, speech dissatisfaction, too many hasty decisions, impatience, and lacking in application. And there comes the 6th number. The number 6 is the number of abundance, number of happiness. Ruled by Venus, it is balance, responsibility, and love. Positive traits are they have a strong sense of responsibility. They're very artistic, a nurturing disposition. They're very balanced. They have a lot of sympathy for others. They are humanitarians, unselfish people, love of home and domestic affairs, freely render service to others. And the negative traits could be self-righteousness, obstinacy, stubborn, dominates family and friends, meddling, ego, egoistic and susceptible to flattery and outspoken. But it's a number of abundance. 6 number gets you a lot of name fame also. So that comes there. And the number 7, the number which says leave me alone. So ruled by Ketu, analysis and understanding is their traits. And all shades of green and yellow is the color which is harmonious to it. Their positive traits would be skilled at analysis and research. They're scientific and inventive. They are very big seekers of knowledge. They love meditating. They're studious. They have solitude and peace, a perfectionist, and a charming personality. Hidden motives can be suspicious. They must be very secretive also sometimes. They're overly reserved, arguments enjoined with silence. They're isolated. They become upset with distractions. And the number 8, which is a number of, again, an abundance number, a number of material satisfaction and spiritual awakening. So harmonious colors are dark gray, dark blue, purple, and black. So executive character and abilities, political skills, expert handling of power and authority, working for a cause, achieving recognition, exercising sound judgment, decisive commanding. Negative traits could be they become very workaholics, overly ambitious, lacks humanitarian instincts, mismanaging money, repressing subordinates, impatient with people, stressed, materialistic again. Yes, and the 9 traits, the last number of the series. So it is obviously the last number. So that's going to be a humanitarian, give back to the society. It's the end of the cycle. So they are very selfless people. They are humanitarian people. All shades of red, white, and yellow. Nine positive traits could be they are very heartily friendly and congenial. They hail fellows, humanitarian instincts, a giving nature. They're selfless. They do it selflessly. Obligations, creative expression, readily influence to do good works, artistic and writing talents. Negative traits could be self-adulation, scattered interest, possessiveness, moodiness, careless with finances, wanting pure attention. And here comes our beautiful master numbers. Master numbers, as I had told you, so it is the one in that 1 to 9 is something which we really have to understand. And this is the master numbers. These are the numbers. If you are born on these numbers, or if your total of your birthday comes to this number, it shows that you have come in this lifetime to do something big in life. It's all about a power of number in names. The number arises when names are reduced to digits, and each number has its own power and majesty. Some digits stand out about the others. There are these 11, 24, 33, 44 to 99. These numbers are recognized as master numbers since they possess a greater potential compared to the other numbers in numerological readings. They are known to be highly charged, very difficult to handle, demand maturity, time, and massive effort to be integrated into a person's personality. So living a master number is a big responsibility. They've come in this lifetime, they've taken birth to do something major in life. They've taken big responsibility on the soul level. But if the soul does not, if your actions, if your bodily actions are not aligned with your soul actions, then definitely you will feel frustrated, you will feel confused, and it will be very difficult for you to handle these master numbers. So those who are born 11, 22 dates, at least they can resonate with what I'm saying. There's a lot of uh, confusion in their lives. So this is the energy groups. If you are a 148 person, you are more into the materialistic life. You can make good money. You are very logical. You are doing good things. If you're an emotional person, when you are a 2369, and if you have a 3 and 5, you're a very creative person. And if you're a 2 and 7, your intuition is at this peak. This is just very generalized. There are a lot of numbers in a human being's chart. So all those numbers work, but these are some which if you know just your birth date, you can at least resonate with where you are. Yeah. There is something which is not so positive about numerology. Also, that the karmic debt numbers. There is some numbers which we carry, which shows that we have some karmas which we are carrying from our past lives, which is something which we are carrying, and we need to learn to live those. So there is a very interesting concept called as a karmic debt number. This is based on the idea that each of us is a spiritual being that is reincarnated again and again. And each time we reincarnate, we reach higher states of awareness. The numbers that are set to reveal a karmic debt are 13, 14, 16, and 19. So these four numbers, 13, 14, 16, 19, are called as the karmic debt number. So if this is your birth date, you need to really listen to what I'm saying. These double digit numbers are very important if they are found in your life path, soul expression, other numbers. I'll come to those numbers also. Each type of number has its own set of difficulties and challenges. What happens when it's a karmic debt number 13? If anybody of you or your loved ones has a 13 birth date, or their total comes to a 13, try to understand this. The meaning and interpretation would be limitation, order, and service. 13/4 karmic debt developed from a lack of application to work requiring accomplishment in a past life. So in a past life, you have somewhere abused order and service. So sidestepping work or burdening others with his rightful share of work. The 1 and 3 behind the 4, the 13 which becomes a 4, indicate that the self-centered -1, frivolous and superficial ways of -3 manifested in a previous life. A 13/4 person will find opportunities considerably limiting. Substantial difficulties might crop up unless he works hard, far harder than his share, a good part of time. Okay. What happens when you have a karmic debt number 14? A 14/5 meaning and interpretation. Constructive freedom. You have misused your freedom in your past life, hence, this is the reason. So, a 14/5 karmic debt developed from a misuse of freedom in a past life. The subject may have found freedom for himself and others' expense, or in a manner destructive to his interest. He may have become overly involved in physical pleasures to the detriment of his development. The 1 and 4 behind the 5 indicate the self-centered -1, irresponsible and lack of accountability -4, manifested to a 5 of a previous life. So this 14 by 5 tends to exhibit the traits of the -5. He's apt to be somewhat erratic, jumping from activity to activity and rolling stone with little sense of accomplishment. In this life, a 14 by 5 will continue to meet with substantial difficulties unless he learns to profit from his experiences instead of repeating mistakes. And he curbs his excessive appetite for physical stimulation. The difficulties encountered may take the forms of delays and loss. And what happens if you have a karmic debt 16? The analysis and understanding. 16 by 7 karmic debt developed from involved in usual or illicit love affairs in a past life. Affairs which cause suffering to others. The 1 and 6 behind the 7 indicate the self-centered -1. Lack of responsibility and distortion of loving feelings, -6, manifested in a previous life. The 16 by 7 tends to exhibit the traits of a -7. The subject's differentness is often apparent. His manner may make him difficult to approach. He is apt to be most concerned with himself, possibly self-centered, but at the least. I'm not reading the whole thing, so we'll not waste time. And the 19 by 1, which is individuation, independence, and attainment. A 19 by 1 karmic debt developed from the abuse of power in past life. Somewhere you have abused the power of in the past life. So that is the reason you come with a 19 by 1. The 1 and the 9 behind this 1 indicates a self-centered approach of -1 and the misuse ambitions of the -9 manifested in a previous life. The 19 by 1, which through challenges and struggles, which can be converted to opportunities and progression with the one strong will and determination. One of the central lessons of a person with this debt number is that they resist help. They simply don't want to listen, accept help or advice. They need to realize that while they stand on their own two feet, but being human, we are deeply connected to others and need support, assistance, love, and understanding. Okay. So that was the karmic debt number. And these are the four numbers: birth date, life path, expression, and the soul urge. We understand what is our birth date number. Life path is the total of our birth date. I'll explain you how to calculate that. And expression and soul urge, if we have time, we'll go through it. These are the birth dates with the planets written on it, which I have already said. So I'm skipping this, right? This is the life path number. How do we calculate our life path number? See, I've given you an example of 25th October 1982. So we have to calculate 2 plus 5, which is a 7. 10 ka 1 and 0 is a 1, and 1982, which is a 20, is a 2. Then you add the 7 plus 1 plus 2, and then you add plus 8 plus 2, which is a 10. So the life path number of this person is a 1. So you have to calculate it like this: the first the birth date, then the month, then the year, and then take it down to a single digit, and then add all those numbers. This is how the life path numbers is calculated. And I'll just give you a very short what each life path number would be. 1 is independence, 2 is a peacemaker, 3 is expression of joy, 4 has a lot of organization, 5 is explorations, responsibility, 6 introspections of 7, 8 has spiritual and material world, 9 are selfless givings, spiritual enlightenment of 11, 22, 33 is community enlightenment, 44 is business enlightenment, and 55 is cult enlightenment. So if that last digit is coming to 11, 22, 33, 44, 55, we don't add it to a single digit. 11 will not become a 2. That we have to remember that. Okay, and then expression numbers. So these are the values given to each alphabet. You can take a picture of this slide so that you can understand, and you can calculate your name, and you can understand if it is a karmic debt number or whether it is a master number or what number it is. Yeah, so I'm not going too much of deep. This is something very similar to the last screen. If you want to take a picture, you can take a picture of this. Yeah. This is something called as a soul urge number, where we calculate only the vowels of our name. The vowels, so the A is a 1, U is a 3, E is a 5, O is a 6, and 1 is a 9. You just calculate the vowels in your name and you come to a number, and that is your soul urge number. The soul urge number is what your soul wants to do in this life. And then you understand which number it comes to, and then you realize what is your soul's desire. So through numerology, we could find out our life purpose. Our expression is how we express and we'll reach our life purpose, and what is our soul's desire or our soul urge. Yeah. So this is the again the explanation of soul urge. One is a cell phone, companionship, out of the box, giving his best, and so forth and so forth. Yeah, this is my contact details. If you all want to just go through anything, you can my phone number, you can take a picture of this. And so this is what I do. I do consulting for numerology. I teach Pythagorean numerology, and I've come up with a beautiful workshop. I've just finished a research about magic manifestation through numbers. Manifestation through numbers is like how you can use numbers to manifest anything in your life. Maybe it is your mobile number, maybe it is your house number or car number or any numbers, even a small thing as like a password of your phone. What is that password which you can keep in your phone, which will manifest into growth and abundance? So this is what is my new research, and that workshop is happening from the 12th of February. Uh, Unfortunately, we are doing it today, and tomorrow is the last day for the early bird. The early bird is 7,500, and from Monday it is going to be 10,000 rupees. So if anyone is, I'll just close. If everybody's taken the picture, I'll stop the share.
Yeah, please.
Yeah. So
Sanketji, it's an awesome perspective. We never thought that this is possible, that you can actually manifest through numbers, and
yes,
your passwords could be the gateway for some manifestation.
yes. I'll tell you about myself, Ritu. You know, I just changed because this research, and almost in the first week of January, I changed my phone password and my UPI passwords of Google Pay and Paytm, and my bank password, mobile transaction. I tell you, I was working since last 5 years, but this time in January, I had to feel I need a manager to handle my appointments. I need a manager to handle my social media. So I actually had to, hire a person and to take care of to manage me. So
More
that,
abundance to you coming your way.
yes. Thank you so much, Ritu.
Awesome,
So,
awesome.
so this is how numbers have created magic in my life, and I want to spread this magic as much as possible. Connect with me whenever you feel like, and I
Yeah,
would
we've
be
taken your
happy.
numbers, taken the details. What we'll do is we'll post those details as well on the chat. If you can
Yes,
also list it for all our
I
participants, that will be helpful.
I will do that. I'll just post my phone number on it, and you
Yeah,
can just WhatsApp
yeah.
or that, and we can take it from there.
Thank you,
Yeah,
thank you,
I
thank
am
you
on
so
time,
much,
Ritu.
Sanket. Yeah,
Yes,
you're on time, much on time.
yeah.
Thank you so much. And it's
Thank
like a
you.
lot of information that you crushed it for us.
Yes, I
Thank you
have
so
to.
much.
I sorry for going very fast.
That's perfectly all right. I think
Yeah,
it's
because
really
I had to
important
cover a
for
lot.
a speaker to be here on
Yes,
time.
yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. God bless you all.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, up next, my dear friends, we have something very, very musical on the other side. We have with us Pandit Abhay Rustan Supori. He is a Santur maestro from Delhi, and he is going to take us into healing with classical music. Abhayji, namaste, and very, very warm welcome.
Namaskar, with a pleasure being here.
बहुत बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है हमें. It's like a wonderful, the other day when we were in Konto and you were playing, so we were like really mesmerized. I think हमारे जितने participants हैं, it's a new world and it's a new perspective. I'm sure they've experienced it, but I would definitely want to, if you could brief a little bit about yourself, and then I have lots of questions, and probably if you could share from your world, what is it like to connect spirituality and healing and music? That would really help.
Okay. So you can hear me properly, isn't it?
Yes, very well.
Okay. So I'm basically I belong to a family of musicians, and it's a 300-year-old legacy that I represent. And the most beautiful part of this gharana to which I belong, which is called as the Sopori Sufiana Gharana of Kashmir. So the only musical gharana from Kashmir which is into Indian classical music. We have Sufiana gharanas, but from Kashmir into Indian classical music, ours is the only family. And we have this beautiful mix of Shaivism and Sufism. So it's a mix of spirituality and music. And music has been practiced as a worship rather than just taking the notes of the melody. Now, when I say that, so basically, when we connect to what you asked me, so this is my background. Basically, I belong to a family of musicians. So I'm a santoor player. I play santoor. We call it as Shatatantri Veena also, which is the Veena with 100 strings. It's a Sanskrit terminology. And I'm a music composer, and I also do conducting. So I do music orchestras and ensembles, and I compose and conduct them. So that's my profession. So when we talk about music and the healing powers of music, I think the other day when I was speaking at the session with the Conto Life, I actually mentioned this also, that when we say music therapy, so primarily this is sound therapy.
Yeah.
Music is the medium to say. So it's like a, sugar coated capsule. So everything is inside. So music is the outer capsule layer. The sound and the elements, it's all inside. It's inside that medicine. So now, what is the difference between sound and melody? Because they are almost the same. Now, sound is basically nad, and when we take lots of notes together, so sound is anything. This is a sound. So any note, any sound, the depth of we go to some close to some river or something, and we hear the sound of the river or the rivulet. We have chirping of the birds. Whatever, these are all sounds. We go to a temple. We have a bell. It's a sound. And if we sit and we take some recitation, that is also a sound. And the moment we put it into a melody, it takes the shape of a melody. So the sound is there. Now, how to use those sounds? What is the impact of a particular sound? So to give you an example, we have very enthusiastic youth, who travel in cars, and some of them love listening to music at very high volume. So at times when that car passes, we cannot hear any music inside that car. All we hear is bum 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 bum. Have you ever noticed what's the impact that it has on our system? Ritu, you must have also.
Breathing goes faster, and you like your energy, your
our,
high.
our entire heartbeat will try and match that particular
Yeah,
tempo.
absolutely,
It's
absolutely.
something that happens. So the impact of that particular sound, which is actually not making any sense, suddenly takes over our nervous system, and our nervous system, our heart, our pulse, everything, it starts adjusting to that particular sound tempo and whatever we are hearing. So which basically means that if we are listening to something which is good,
Hmm.
it will have a good effect on the human system. And if we are listening to something which is not so pleasing, uh, it will also have some effect. Um, Now, when we take some mantras, say we take any of the mantras that we have, even whether that is a Hanuman Chalisa or something, now that entire thing basically, it has been researched by the greats that we have had on this planet, and each sound is a vibration. So if we talk about, say the mantra, Mahamrityunjay mantra. So if somebody is not well, so the acharyas will say that we'll do 1,000, one or 11,000 or 1 lakh japs of the mantra, even though somebody else is doing it, it has the effect on the person for whom it is being done. Now, just imagine if the person sitting and he starts reciting, say, Mahamrityunjay, Om Triambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam, and the mantra goes on. Now, that is in itself, I should have actually completed the mantra, but anyway. So, that in itself, it's, it's a sound in itself. It's one sound over another, it's one sound. So, we are then talking about vibrations. And music is nothing else but vibrations. In fact, when I speak to children in schools, I say, take any creative art as your hobby. It just refines your entire personality. But why we always put music as number one is because of vibrations. And these vibrations, when we talk in terms of spirituality, so it just uplifts the entire persona of a being. Now, people in general, they feel they have to sit for hours to understand, since our topic is revolving around Indian classical music. And of course, since morning and tomorrow also, we'll be having many speakers who are, I'll say, authority on spirituality. So I won't go into that. But from the music perspective of that, um, when I started learning about the impact of sound on human system, of course, as I said, it's been in the family. I'll actually share this. This is something very interesting. My great great grandfather and my great grandfather, and even before that, uh, what I have told, I have not seen them, but they had so much of power which they had got through their spiritual practice, through their music practice, that they could even heal a person. Somebody has some pain in the arm or something, all they would do is just simply do something like this, and the pain was gone.
Wow.
And that time, as part of the Veds and the Hakims, which were that time, working, they used to tell the patients that please go to Panditji, whosoever they were referring to, whether my great grandfather or great great grandfather. So they would say, ask him to play this particular makama for you, and this problem that I have,
Figure out.
shared with you. So share it with Panditji and ask him. Now, those were the people who would only play in Sufi mahfils.
So
In
that was the lab, and he was a doctor. So I get that.
yeah. So music was even part of the sound therapy in the family, and those people recognize, the Hakims and the Veds would recognize. It's unfortunate that our system, whether that has been spirituality, yoga, our Indian classical music.
I just so wish to hear that you continued the legacy of and healing people.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So, we have had lots of Western influences, influences by those who had their own interests, and trying to uh, create a history which brings down the sanctity of the Indian sanctity, I would say, the sanskars of our country, the Sanskriti of our country, and trying to say that India has been a country which didn't have anything, a bankrupt country, and it's only because of a particular influence that something could materialize in this country. Now that's the historic background, whether that has been Kashmir largely targeted.
So I have to make an announcement to all the participants here. Is it all right? Participants, kindly, answer in the chat box. Is it all right that we stay on for 15 more minutes, because we can't leave Abhayji without a rendition, and we definitely want to not miss this opportunity, because this is been created after a long, long, long time. So we really want this to happen. So are we game for it? Another 15 minutes? Uh, at least 5 yeses minimum is required on the chat box. So I got four yes already. Okay, I got the fifth one. Yes, Aveji, thank you.
So we have, just to understand the time frame, we have 15 minutes.
So basically, we were supposed to close at 9 o'clock, and we've just taken permission from the people because they have to start again at 9 o'clock in the morning. So considering that, we can only take about another 15 or 20 minutes, and I hope we can listen to you today. And you, since you have a good, possibility that the other day you were not keeping very well, so really, really want to hear you, and all ears
No,
to.
no, certainly, certainly. I'll try to finish up
Please
the
complete. You
session.
were saying something. Yeah.
Yeah,
Please.
by 9:15, we'll try to close it today, and someday we can just have the music
Yes, yes, yes,
version.
yes. We'll
I, of
probably
course,
make
have my
it.
instrument today with me, so I'll be playing also a little bit.
Awesome. Awesome.
So when I, started learning about the sound and all, so some of the things which my father told me, explained me, I'll share a couple of them with you. So like we go to the temple and, now, it's the wish of the people whether they want to go to the temple or not. They are absolutely, they have the complete freedom. Now, why there, why people have been focusing on the need to go to a temple? You can sit at home and worship to whichever deity you want to. So you really don't need to go to a temple for that. But it's the community which comes in together, it's the people which come in together, it's the vibrations which come in together, and then it's also the sound. If we go to a Hindu temple, we have a temple bell. We go there, we strike the bell. Now, have you, just if we imagine that this is the shape of the bell, and we strike the bell, so the vibrations which flow, it flows like this. So it hits right on top of our,
Sound.
head, which is basically the Sahasrara point, and one of the chakras, the seventh chakra of the body. So it starts from here and flows right through the entire body. Half of the tension is actually taken away just by ringing the temple bell. And we have the concept of sound in all the religions. So we talk about Islam, we have azan. Hinduism is massive. If we go to a church, we have the church bell. If we go to gurdwaras, we have the Sikh community music being played there. So we have another religions also. So music has always been part of that. And why we say Indian classical music, it's not that no other music can have the effect on human system. No, any sound, any music will have the effect. But Indian classical music is deep rooted. It's the music which has come from the temples. It's the music which is part of the system. It's the music which actually runs in our DNA. It's just that we haven't explored it or explored it very less. So that's why we say, and equally, even the Western classical music has an immense, impact on the nervous system. But Indian classical music is far, far, far ahead because of its structure, because of the sound, because of the generation. Now, before I play something, Santur, I was mentioning it the other day also at the Conto Life, that it's the only instrument which is actually part of a yantra, which is Sri Yantra. So this instrument is actually like a creation of the Shiv and the Shakti. And when we see the Sri Yantra, in between we have the triangles. So in between that triangles, we can easily identify the shape of the Santur. People can say it's just a
Coincidence.
coincidence, but no, because even one of the greatest, I would say, the man of the millennium, Acharya Abhinav Gupta, apart from his spirituality, apart from his study of Natya Shastra, his study of the aesthetics, he was a musicologist also. And he used to play santur, and he would call this instrument as Nad Veena, because this is the instrument which creates the Nad. Now, what is the Nad? No, I basically I'll just show you the
Please
santur and
just
then I'll
I
have
would
to
like to have a look
just
at it. Yeah.
take it. So basically, this is the santur, and just a simple flow of the instrument. It takes us to a different world. Now, since we have about 10 minutes, I've tuned the my instrument to rag Nirmal Kos. Now it's a raga which I have composed, and uh, it's made in as a tribute to Her Holiness Sri Mataji Nirmala Devi ji. Um, just to say it again, so I always say this that I have perhaps just been the source, because I really didn't have to work too much in creating this raga. Otherwise, creating a raga is really difficult. I'll tell you, recently a festival was being conducted as the first Sharda festival. Now, Sharda is the Devi, from Kashmir. So one of the my papa's very close friends who was conducting the festival, so he said, "Why don't you compose a raga in the name of the Devi?" Which I later on did, and I made a new rag, uh, Sharda. So it was so much of effort. Anything I'm thinking of, it's already there. Any structure I think, it's already there. But this raga and even the other raga which I made, Rag Mahakali, I didn't have to do much. It just came and I, did it. So, but since I made it, so I say I made it. But believe me, it's some other power which actually did that. Now, it's a very meditative raga, and I'll play this, and everybody across, whosoever is online, they can simply enjoy. I hope the sound of the santur is
Yeah.
coming out well.
Yeah, yeah, it's coming out beautifully well, and we are ready to be transported.
Sure, sure.
Like, please.
So you can just enjoy the sound of the santur now. I'll focus it a bit on the santur, let you enjoy the instrument rather than seeing my face.
I think people who want to leave can leave, but we'll stick on. I'm making that announcement right here.
composition in this raga. जय जय निर्मल जननी, जय जय निर्मल जननी। जय जय निर्मल जननी, जय जय निर्मल जननी। नाथ देव ध्यान मगन, मास देव ध्यान मगन। सहस्रार बसत छिन में करत पार, नाथ मंडल तुम हो साहिब मन में। उतर हरत पीर दुख, हो पाप विनाश। जय जय निर्मल जननी, तुम विदेश तुम सनट, क्यों मन मेरो हर पल। तुम विदेश तुम सनट, क्यों मन मेरो हर पल। इतनी अरज करत मादरस दीज दासन को, मिलत परम आनंद, आनंद, आनंद। निर्मल जननी, जय
This should never come to an end.
It's 9:15.
No, no, I said no. People who want to leave after 9:15 can leave. See, all of us are here.
So
It's
basically,
such a beautiful.
when I, in fact, composed this raga, and in fact, if you would have uh, just gathered from the sound of the sound which is generated through this raga, eh, since it's I personally feel it's a creation by the deity herself. The vibrations are so powerful in this particular raga, and the reason why I actually selected this, that if we unfortunately we are going through the sound of the laptop, so I'm not sure what exactly is going through, but uh, either a person hears the sound directly or through the sound system or whatever. you can actually feel that, beautiful vibrations, that this
You're in the
raga
same
has.
space, actually. If you're in the same
So I'm
space, it's a different experience
Yeah,
altogether. I get that. Yeah.
certainly, certainly. And that's the power of Indian classical music. And I personally feel that everybody, people are somehow, जैसे कहते हैं डरते हैं with Indian classical music. Some people feel they can't understand it. Some people feel that it's boring. Anything could be boring, and anything is too difficult to understand. I cannot understand the all the factors which are involved in making a building. I'll be the worst ever contractor if somebody makes me. I'm a musician, so that doesn't mean that I can't appreciate the beauty of a building or a creation which has been done by some engineer. So we need to appreciate. That's the first step towards realizing your own self, that you appreciate something, you appreciate the creation, you appreciate the creation either of by a person or by the nature. And it takes you, once we start understanding, once we start appreciating, once we know, if we talk about music, if we just understand uh, the importance of just listening to music. It's not important to know the intricacies of a raga. No, not at all important. Just listening. And that's what we need to give to our upcoming generations, that music, all creative aspects should be part of their lives. And I think, occasions like these, when multiple people speak on certain topics, maybe it should be available to young students or so, so that they can understand the importance of the age old traditions of our country, be it music, spirituality, or whatever.
Beautiful. I really don't want. I didn't wanted this to stop, and I'm sure all of the participants and everybody on the panel didn't wanted this to stop at all. Paniji, it's like you're
You can
carrying the
call me
legacy
Abhay, please.
very well. I want to call you something more revered. I don't know
No, no,
what
no,
to
just call me Abhay. That's
call.
my name.
What you did was magic, truly magic. And we're all blessed to listen to you. And we really feel you are doing great work. And this should not stop. This should go on to many, many thousands of lives. And people should really emulate and, become mastros at Santur. And this should go on and on. This legacy should be built. And we really want you to, be part of Mavin and probably at least create that beginner's taste. Like you said, every young child should be able to appreciate, and that we will definitely want to create this with children young, and obviously other, like as many people who can join in any platform. So we'll definitely connect on that with you. And we in case somebody is interested, we'll definitely connect with you through Maven. Yeah. And if you would like to leave your email ID with us, just in case there's any conversation anybody wants to have with you, that would help.
Sure. I should I type it in the
Yeah, you can tell me. I would do that for you.
okay,
It must be difficult for you.
office@abhaysopori.com. ABHAYSOPORI. Office@abhaysopori.com.
Okay. Did I get it right?
No, at would be
Oh,
at
yeah,
the
yeah,
rate.
yeah.
At the rate.
See, I'm still in that maze. So I didn't want it to come out.
Okay. Let me put it. It's.
Sorry. P double P?
I'll do it.
Okay. Sorry.
No, that's okay. Yeah. So
Office.
that's
See, I'm still in the
my
maze. Yeah.
email, and this is actually my. I'm sorry, my website. I'm still having all these problems post COVID. So something happens to my throat in between. So this is my website as well. I think somebody asked for my Facebook page and all. I'm very bad on social media, but
Okay.
yeah, I have the Facebook page and all. So it can be easily connected. They can connect through
Yeah,
my
yeah.
website. It has all
Find
the
you.
links.
So, guys, he is not somebody you need to really look at. You just need to type the name, and you'll find him on the social media. So don't worry about it. Thank you so much, Abhiji, and thank you all the participants here for being here with us and trusting us. Um, Abhiji, we want to go on a different journey with you, and we will definitely connect with you very, very soon. Thank you so much.
With pleasure. Thank you. God
Thank
bless.
you so much. Thank you
Namaskar.
so much. And my dear participants, my dear friends, we'll see you at sharp at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. We begin with the session. And thank you so much, Mansi ji, Victoria, each one of you who's here, Ruchi. So it's a beautiful Pritam ji, Kushbu. So the entire Maven team is thanking each one of you here. Yes, Kushbu, you want to say something? Please go ahead.
Yes, I just want to thank everyone. Thank you, Abhayji, for the wonderful, wonderful music. And thank you, everyone, all trainers, all participants. Thank you, Ritu, for this wonderful anchoring. You know, you were so flawless, and we love the anchoring. And everyone, we look forward to see you sharp 9 a.m. tomorrow with lots of power packed sessions.
Yippee! We had a great session. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity, Shabana and Kushbu. Love you guys. And we'll meet you tomorrow. Bye bye.
Thank you,
Tada.
everyone. See you
Victoria,
tomorrow.
we'll see you tomorrow. Join us.
Yeah.